Moving on to the next stage of the Wily Fortress. You would think you'd be deeper in the facility, but actually no, you're not. You're a little bit deeper into the sewers is all. And yes, that's quite a lot of branching paths. So we're actually going to take the main path for the first run, and then we're going to show you the later paths after that. It's a little bit difficult to get through this first section without getting hurt, but it is possible. You have a little dock runs or whatever here coming from the little spouts up top. And there's an alternate path right there which you can get with the rush jet or the rush coil. And this underwater segment takes a lot of cues from its original level inspiration. You just gotta take it slow and easy, taking care of each enemy as they come, even if it does take a couple tries. And that extra life is quite easy to get if you use the Yamato Spear to get back out. And even the Tornado Blow and a couple other things can help you as well. Now, my first attempt, no, you're not going to be able to simply fall and make that jump. You're going to have to actively jump a little bit, very slightly, to make this. Otherwise, you're going to fall into the pit of spikes, which I did my first time through. Of all the jumps, this is probably the trickiest. It's not too bad. And it's a good thing the spike guard was active for this level, otherwise I would have died right there. A small jump is all it's needed. And this is what dominates the latter half of the stage. Nothing but Yoku blocks. I hope you like them, because there's a lot more coming after this. This is the Yoku block stage of the Wily Fortress. Don't get me wrong, Wily Fortress 6 has a couple Yoku blocks, but it is nowhere near as bad as the ones depicted here in this level. So just breathe easier after you beat this level, that there will be not even close to being as bad Yoku block segments as the ones here. Now those were individual rooms. Now you have a long corridor over spiked water of Yoku blocks. Plus enemies to knock you off the perch, so that's always fun. So I actually kind of looked here to see where the trick is. The trick is actually on the third block, so you want to keep on pressing right and hop on to the next block that appears, and they're going to do it to you again right there. And I was actually kind of lucky with the collision. Now it's just a matter of taking care of quite a 2 or 3 of these spring guys and getting to the mid-boss of this level. That's right, there is a mid-boss. Unless you defeated Inker with his weakness way back in where you found him in the Robot Master stages. If you defeated him then he won't appear here as a mid-boss. Now I'm using a game controller, and it is very difficult to make that last jump with the game controller. So I'm going to cheese it, and I use the rush jet. Or rush coil. Either one works, actually. So, if you remember, we did not kill Inker with his weakness, so he appears here. He is actually the same as his old incarnation in the Robot Master stages. The only difference is he adds one more new attack that he only will do here in the Wily level. And I think it's this one right here. That is the only new attack he does. And I don't know why he did this off to the right, but not going to argue. But overall, if you pretty much perfected your battle against him, he's really not that much tougher here. But you're still not done with the level. Oh no. You still got a good ways to go in another Yoku block segment, just for fun. And yeah, you want to use the Yamato Spear to fill up on any of your energy that you're losing. And an extra 2,000 points, easy. There's no reason not to. You want to get rid of that dock run right away so it doesn't interrupt you at all while you're trying to figure out the Yoku block segment here, otherwise it's near impossible to get through this unscathed. I have a feeling perfect runners are going to be tearing their hair out on this section. Or even speedrunners, who knows? I'm not a speedrunner myself. I just don't have the talent for it. I'm just doing challenges just for fun. Oh, wow. I forgot I made that goof. But as you can see, there is a lot of instances in these segments where they have blocks appearing over your head, and you're going to have to know that they're there, or you're going to fall to a very spiky death. So memorization of this level is kind of key. You got a slide here, there's no other way about it, unless you want to make that tricky hop after the top second to last block disappears. And here's the boss. And surprise, surprise, it's actually something from the Mega Man 7 remake. It's the Turtle Boss. And he's not too much harder or different from his incarnation in Mega Man 7, actually. But he does have this, which he can do 3 times in a row, and it's very hard to dodge. You have to be pinpoint precise on your slides like that to dodge all 3 times. Then, of course, he'll drop one of 3 hangers, 1, 2, or 3, and each turtle hanger does something completely different. And then, of course, he's got this, which he can pound on you and stun you, and it actually hurts quite a bit. And that's pretty much all the attacks he has. If I can, if I can only get this right. This is probably his most dangerous attack. When he does that, you have a chance of getting at least 2 good hits in, or even 3. Now, 3 is one of the more dangerous turtles. They go all over the place. So if you can kill those quickly, you're in the clear. But all in all, this is actually an easier boss than the previous stage. Just keep up with your sliding on his main 3 ramming attack and you should be fine. Okay, now for this. You can use the Rush Jet or the Rush Coil, either one works. Then you go on an alternate path. And the alternate path splits again right here. So we're going to stay with the first split, which requires the Rush Jet. Correction, Rush Marine. If you try and summon the jet underwater, it actually won't work. Which is a change. I believe the Rush Jet actually worked in Mega Man 3 underwater, which made the Marine kind of useless. And here's a tricky bit. You gotta take it slow, or you will die. And there's your weapon tank. And this just links back up to that Yoku block room. And just to show how easy it is to cheese this with the Rush Marine, I'm going to show how easy you can pass this entire segment. Look at that. That's just awesome. In the levels 2, 3, and 4 of the Wily stages, you have a choice, and you will not be able to get both. You can either have another full energy tank, or you can have another full weapon tank. And you can't choose one or the other in Stage 2, and you can't choose one or the other in Stage 3. So that kind of limits you to either having 2 extra energy tanks by the end of all 8 Wily stages, or 1 energy tank and 1 weapon tank by the end of all 8 Wily stages. So make your choice. You already know how to get to the weapon tank. This is the way to the energy tank. So you can't do one or the other. Now you want to take this upper path, because if you take the lower path, which is fairly easy, mind you, you're not going to get the item here. Which you have to slide under spikes for, of course. The E-tank piece. And here's a little tricky spot. I recommend using the Star Shield just for peace of mind, so you can just focus purely on the platforming and just ignore the enemies altogether. And this just links you right before the mid-boss door. Hope you beat Inker before this point.